Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be tracking a system that been going on across anywhere from the several plains, going through the Tennessee Valley, and eventually getting to the Mid-Atlantic that could cause some issues here. It could create issues, something like we actually have a little bit of a winter storm threat possibly across portions of the Ohio Valley, portions of the Northeast, and even back across portions of the Midwest there as well. There may be a chance for quite a bit of rain across portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, back down across Arkansas. We're also watching for the risk of severe weather for the Tennessee Valley, back across the Severed Plains here, and most of Dixie Alley here, where we can see the potential for some severe weather here. So this system could cause some issues. And not only does it could create a decent amount of wind, we're actually having a little bit of a better idea of this system there as well. But before I get started, I'd like to thank you guys so much for making me hit 600 subscribers on this YouTube channel. It really means a lot to me. I'll be keep on doing videos like this here to give you guys weather updates and stuff like this. Well, if you guys do want to support the channel, you can hit the subscribe button and you can also hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload when I make a video. So let's go to get started with the GFS model here. And let's kind of continue on. This is going to be happening early next week. We got a pretty good wave of rain that been going across Dixie Alley there that could some areas could pick up 1 to 2 inches of rain, isolated higher spots. And then as we get to Sunday here, we'll have a low somewhere right in here. Then eventually another low will come up here, and there'll be a front somewhere right in here. And you can also see here we got decent amount of snow going on across portions of the Great Lakes and portions of the Midwest there. And eventually as the second system comes up, you see how it really starts to deepen here. And snow starts to fall across portions of Kansas. And also look at this area of just heavy rain, especially along the Kentucky and Tennessee border. Seeing some rounds of heavy rain there, and that'd be a concern with this system. And that's the way you actually have some of the better confidence about the system here. It's going to create a lot of rain over some of these regions here. And that's where we really have the best confidence with this system, really. And continuing on here, could be a decent amount of snow, probably some freezing rain, sleet could be mixed in across portions of the Ohio Valley, back to Missouri, Illinois, there as well. Could be heavy at times there as well. And you can see here with this low here, and for some of my videos here, well, the last update, or I should say the last video here, we had high uncertainty with the track and the low, and we actually have a better idea. It seems like your average track will be going something like this. Some of them have a little bit further north, and if it goes further north, there'll be a better shot of a winter storm across some of these regions here because that moisture will be closer to that colder air that's up there, and plus that jet stream, that poor jet stream like let's talk about there. But I think it'll have a better interaction as it gets to the northeast there as well. And as we continue on, moves out. Still quite a bit of snow going on across portions of the mid-Atlantic there as well. And we'll briefly talk about this in this video. And after that system, we're going to watch for this. GFS model's been pretty consistent with this solution so far, where there may be a chance for quite a bit of snow anywhere from Kentucky, eventually getting down into West Virginia, North Carolina, not Missouri, Maryland, Delaware, maybe as far south as South Carolina. And you can see how it really starts to blow up here. Not under 79 millibar low, but I think that's just going to be way too strong here. That could bring a chance for blizzard conditions for North Carolina if that verifies. And eventually it gets off into the Atlantic area. You can see how it really starts to deepen as it gets out there. But a lot of things can still change with the system here. I just want to mention this real quick because the GFS boss has been very consistent with the solution for the past few runs here. So this will be interesting to watch here. Things can still change. The European model is also showing something like this as well. But again, we'll be keeping an eye on that closely here, and we'll have an update on this later on. But I just want to briefly talk about that system real quick there as well. And let's look into the Canadian model with this. And I think this, well, I actually was talking about the other system. But anyways, you can see here, 997 millibar low pretty much goes across Kentucky, Arkansas, and you can see our decent amount of pretty good snow bands here, anywhere from Oklahoma, Kansas, for portions of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, back over to Pennsylvania. That's a pretty good swath of snow there that's falling there. And for some of these regions here, it'd be training snow, so there's a chance there could be several inches of snow across some of these regions here, but we still have uh, high uncertainty with those snowfall amounts, but there's a little bit better confidence with it that this may become a winter storm across some of these regions here. And this is early Tuesday morning. You got a 996 millibar low across the mountains of West Virginia and Ohio, eventually getting to Pennsylvania, with heavy snow at times across portions of the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, back across the Ohio Valley, and even back into Illinois there as well. And it's again be something to watch there. And as we back up here, similar solution what the GFS had, just looks like be training heavy thunderstorms, showers of thunderstorms that could be training over some of these same areas that could produce quite a bit of rain. And I think the areas that I've just circled probably the areas to watch here. Actually, something more like this here will be the areas to watch. I think Kentucky, Tennessee will be your states to watch for the flash flood threat with that. And we do have better confidence on that than anything else with this system, like I said before. But again, some things could change there. And we'll take a look at the icon model with this. And you can see while it's talking about that heavy rain, you can see how it trains over Kentucky, Tennessee, and some other surrounding states. Doesn't really show a big punch of snow up across really the Mid-Atlantic, the Ohio Valley, although it does have a big hit of snow back across portions of the plains, eventually getting into Missouri and Illinois, although. And you can see here, not a whole lot of snow showing up for the Mid-Atlantic, but that may be an outlier there, but we'll see about that. Too early with the snowfall amounts with this system here, it's likely going to change. And as we look into the European model, you can see here, very similar track of what the other models had. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. But we can also know there's a round of heavy snow across portions of Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, Illinois. Eventually, it's going to get into portions of Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, even getting into Pennsylvania there as well. And as we back up here, this is definitely a severe weather look for Dixie Alley here. A typical, pretty classic severe weather setup for Dixie Alley here. We'll talk a little bit more about the specifics on the ingredients and stuff like that in just a moment here. But this is definitely something to watch here. You can see with these ISO bars here, could be pretty windy as well across some of these regions here. So that'll be something to watch there as well. And you can see then it starts to move out over to the Atlantic Ocean by early Wednesday morning. This is the Weather Prediction Center's the chance of exceeding a quarter of an inch of liquid equivalent of snow or sleet. So this is your chances here. So areas in the really this lime green here, this is where you have the chance, really a 10 to 30% chance. But as you get to these darker greens here, that's where you can see 30 to 50 inches, not inches, 30 to 50% chance of exceeding a quarter of an inch of snow or sleet, which includes places like Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, um, Altoona, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York City is in there as well, and some other big cities across these regions there as well. So this will definitely be something to watch. And they even have an area across portions of north central Illinois with a, well, actually that, never mind. Things like that, it's a little bit an overlap there, but anyways here, there's a decent shot of seeing a chance of at least a quarter of an inch of snow or sleet here. So, but that'd be something to keep an eye on. And you see day 6 here that it pretty much is gone. Then day 7, that'll be something to watch here across some of those regions there. That'll be an area to watch there. So that's the winter side of the system. Let's talk about the severe weather side of the system. So this is for the rest of tonight. We got not really any severe weather will be happening on day 2. Tomorrow, nothing pretty much. Day 3, no thunderstorms forecasted for day 3. The day 4, we actually got a 50% slight risk here, really for central Texas up across southeastern Oklahoma here, which includes places like Dallas, Waco, Abilene, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, and Garland, Texas here. So that's some highly populated areas in some of those regions that may need to watch for the potential for severe weather. Although they do not have anything for day 5, it says potential too low, but I have doubts on that, really, with that, to be honest. So we're going to watch for that, and let's take a look to some of those ingredients there. So this is surface-based cape using the GFS model here. Really, when you get to those blue colors, that's over 1,000 joules per kilogram of cape, so this is pretty much energy for some of these thunderstorms. You can see some areas could be as high as 1,500, but where the store prediction there has where they have highlighted for that 15%, which is roughly in this region right here. You can see it's not really going to take a whole lot of cape for severe weather to really get going with this here. You can see here there's a decent amount of cape in place there as well. And let's get a sounding out of this here to see what the GFS is spinning out here. And there is an issue here if you want severe weather, which I'm sure some of you guys don't. A lot of you guys don't watching this video. Your photograph here it looks terrible in weather terms here. If you really want a good photograph, you need a pretty large curve. So basically, if you want a favorable environment for severe weather, it can look something like this here. With that big curve or something like that, you can see here, there's not much of a curve at all there. Although your critical angle number is high as a 45, that is favorable for the chance for tornado there. Your equinox is decently high here, and really between the yellow line and the red line here, this gets to show you how unstable the environment here is up in the atmosphere. And you can see here where I've highlighted there, it's not really that, that unstable. If you want to see a very unstable environment, this here needs to be much wider here. And you can see there, it's not really that wide. So it's not really an unstable environment. Although your dew point number is as high as 62, which is favorable for thunderstorms, and temperature as high as 71 degrees there, so that's not too shabby there. Although pretty low shear environment at 1 kilometer here, 15 knots there, so your low level shear is pretty weak there. But as we kind of get to 3 kilometers, it is 32 knots, so, and that's favorable for some severe weather there as well. And you can see our decent amount of cape with this, especially at the surface, which is spitting out 1500 there as well. So, and this is the analog system here. You can see there's 10 loose matches of, tornadoes, and what analogs are, this is with this system here, it finds some of these analogs back in the past that has similar environment to something, that happened a long time ago, could be short time ago, who knows. But it does show 10 loose matches here, and for severe hail, and that's for supercell, and 11 loose matches there, 64% significant there. But these are loose matches here, so, but we'll see about that there. But just by looking at this, it's probably favorable for damaging winds and possibly some hail with this here. Tornado threat, just by looking at the photograph, it just looks pretty garbage there in weather terms there. But as we move on here to the next day, you can see here, really get to those purple shades. That's where you get really between one, uh, 1 to really 500 cape there. When you get to those brighter purples, that's 500 to 1,000. You can see there's a decent amount of cape as far north as Kentucky-Tennessee state line here. So there's some cape in place here, and we could get a sounding really along the Mississippi and Louisiana border here. See what it shows here. And then again, not really a good hodograph here again. Your critical angle number's lower. It's low as a 33. Although there's quite a bit of shear going on here. I mean, 1 kilometer here, 23 knots, 3 uh, kilometer. Uh, I don't know what it stands for, to be honest. Uh, 42 knots. So really, what's favorable for winds here for severe weather is really over a 25 or a 30. You can see there's a decent amount of wind shear around there. And there's not as much cape as back in Texas, although it's not going to take a whole lot of cape for severe weather to get going, especially in January here. But overall, this is not really a good sounding for some severe weather. I mean, well, for tornado threat, it looks to be pretty low here just by looking at this photograph. Although there may be a chance we could see some damaging winds, and that's really it. So the GFS is not really showing a huge severe weather threat or anything like that. But things could change there. So yeah, on that. And this is the European model here. And you can see our cape could be as high as 2100, and that's pretty high for this time of year. And it even goes even higher. I mean, 2200 cape, yeah, that's pretty high for this time of year here. As we continue on to Monday here, where the severe threat may continue, especially when we get around that low pressure system, it's spinning out a decent amount of cape there across portions of Kentucky as high as 450. That's a decent amount of cape. It's by that low pressure, but I think severe weather threats going to generally stay low across some of those regions there, and the temperatures will be pretty cool across some of those regions there. But when you get down back around across Alabama, Mississippi, you can see there's a decent amount of cape in place here. So I think, really generally speaking here, at this point here, I think Texas and portions of Oklahoma may have a better shot at seeing severe weather than Monday here across some of these regions here. But these will be two areas to watch here for severe weather. But we'll be watching this pretty closely here. And this is the analog system here with using GFS ensembles. You can see here quite a big difference since the last update with this system. You can see here it's by as high as some areas as high as a 30% chance of seeing severe weather 25 miles at any given point. And as we get to day 5, you can see it's a little bit more favorable for severe weather, and seems like a similar situation for day 6 there. But we'll see about that. It doesn't do a really good job with it. Alright, so the last thing to talk about with this here is going to be that rainfall. And I've said Kentucky and Tennessee, even back across portions of Arkansas. And this is the Weather Prediction Center's forecast here. You can see here it shows rainfall amounts anywhere from 2 to maybe 3 inches of rain, which is a decent amount of rain for 24 hours. Although some of these areas do need some rain. I mean, I know in my backyard it's starting to get pretty dry here in Kentucky, and we haven't really seen a big rain in a long time now. So we're going to need some of that rain. We're definitely going to need it. This is a GFS ensemble. This is made out of 2021 members. You can see our areas in the red. It does indicate 2 to 3 inches of rain, and again, portions of Kentucky and Tennessee there looks to be the bullseye from the GFS ensembles. And let's look into some other models here for rainfall, like the GFS. You can see here it shows a decent rainfall maps really showing some spots perhaps pick it up to as high as 4 or 5 inches of rain across southern Kentucky there. So a decent amount of rain, quite a bit of rain is showing from the GFS. And if we look at wait, this is not, yeah, it's for the event. Okay, so this is the Canadian model with this. You can see a pretty good swath of rain anywhere from around Dallas, Texas, all the way up to kind of around Charleston, West Virginia there. And this will be the areas to watch here. And when you get to some of these darker colors here, that's the chance for seeing 4 inches of rain. So several inches of rain seems like a possibility across those regions here, although the rainfall amounts could be a little bit overdone. And we got the icon model. You see it's very similar to the GFS model here, given the bullseye kind of around Kentucky and Tennessee, with amounts really generally 2, 3, possibly 4 inches of rain. And last but not least is the European model, which will zoom in into the Ohio Valley. Wait for it to load. You can see here it does show some swaths of 2+ inches of rain across really anywhere from central Kentucky back down across portions of western Tennessee, Arkansas, portions of Texas, even across portions of Louisiana there as well. So a decent amount of rain could be coming across these regions here, although I think the bullseye will probably be somewhere. Let me actually bring out a different color here. Let's actually get blue and erase this. And I think the better chance for seeing the flash flooding potential will probably be somewhere right in here. Areas I've circled in blue here may have the better chance to see quite a bit of rain here. Now, for the better opportunity for winter storm conditions, however, which will go back to a national view really quick. So the areas to watch for really any winter storm potential, take that off real quick, will probably really areas to watch in general. Looks to be something like this here. These will definitely be areas to watch here for areas that may have the potential to see a decent amount of snow. Although we'll be watching this pretty closely here, and we still got a few days to go. Although we should have a better idea with this system as we get into the weekend. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys got questions about this, you can put a comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.